Aliens beneath the city. The city never slept. Its streets were alive with the glow of neon lights and the hum of traffic. People moved quickly, unaware of the dark world hidden beneath their feet. No one thought twice about the strange vibrations that sometimes shook the ground or the faint humming noises that echoed from the subway tunnels late at night. But those who noticed often whispered about it in fear, calling it the city's heartbeat. Mara Williams, a young journalist with a reputation for curiosity, had always been fascinated by the unseen. She had spent years chasing stories that no one else dared to touch, from underground fight rings to secret government experiments. But recently, reports of strange disappearances had caught her attention. People vanished without a trace, no bodies, no clues, nothing. All that remained was strange scorch marks or symbols etched near where they were last seen. One evening, Mara decided to investigate the old subway lines that had long been abandoned. The city's transport department claimed they were sealed, but she knew better. The entrance was hidden behind a crumbling wall near an old maintenance shed. With her flashlight in hand, she pushed aside debris and descended the narrow staircase into darkness. The air grew colder as she went deeper, carrying a damp, metallic smell that made her stomach turn. At first, the tunnels were empty. The sound of her footsteps echoed back, but then she noticed something strange. The walls were not made of concrete alone. Strange, organic patterns spread across them, glowing faintly in shades of green and blue. The light pulsed, almost like it was breathing. Mara stepped closer, tracing the patterns with her fingers, when suddenly the ground trembled. A low, guttural sound reverberated through the tunnels, and she froze. Something moved ahead, a shadow slipping along the walls, faster than any human could. Mara's heart pounded. She tried to call out, but her voice was swallowed by the vast tunnels. Then, a figure emerged from the darkness. It was not human. Its skin shimmered like wet metal, and its eyes glowed faintly with an unearthly light. It moved with unnatural grace, its limbs bending in ways that should have been impossible. Mara stumbled backward, her flashlight falling to the ground. The beam illuminated a long corridor filled with dozens of these creatures, their bodies writhing as if connected to some unseen force. Panic surged through her, but curiosity kept her rooted. She reached for her camera, snapping photos as the creatures noticed her. Instead of attacking immediately, they stopped. Their gaze seemed intelligent, almost curious, as if they were studying her in return. Mara realized that these were not mindless monsters. They were something far more terrifying. Aliens that had been living beneath the city for years, hidden from human eyes. Suddenly, the floor beneath her cracked. The ground gave way, and Mara fell into a chamber filled with strange machinery and glowing vessels, each containing what looked like suspended human forms. Some appeared asleep, others changed. Their eyes reflected the same eerie glow as the aliens. Mara gasped, understanding the horrifying truth. These beings were not just hiding, they were experimenting. They were altering humans, blending them with something else, creating a new kind of life beneath the city. Footsteps echoed behind her. The aliens had noticed her fully now. They began to approach, moving silently yet with purpose. Mara scrambled toward a ladder at the edge of the chamber, but a force stopped her. A translucent membrane rose from the floor, wrapping around her arm. She struggled, screaming, as she felt an intense pressure, almost as if the aliens were probing her thoughts. Her mind filled with images, memories not her own, cities she had never seen, creatures she could not comprehend. Then, as suddenly as it had started, it stopped. The membrane vanished, and Mara found herself alone in the chamber. The aliens were gone, leaving only a faint glow behind. Trembling, she climbed out, her mind racing. She had to tell someone, warn the world. But when she emerged onto the street above, everything seemed normal. People walked past her, oblivious to the horrors below. Mara realized with a sinking feeling that no one would believe her. The city above was blind to the truth beneath. As she walked home, she felt eyes on her, unseen yet undeniable. The aliens were watching, always watching, waiting for the moment when humanity would discover them, or when they would decide humanity itself was ready to change. Mara knew one thing for certain. The city was not what it seemed, and her life had just become part of a story far bigger and far more dangerous than she had ever imagined. The next morning, Mara woke with a throbbing headache and a strange unease. The images from the chamber below haunted her. The glowing aliens, the human vessels, the memories that weren't her own. She knew she had to return, to find answers, even if it meant risking her life. She spent the day preparing, buying extra flashlights, batteries, and a small recording device. She didn't tell anyone where she was going. Friends would think she had lost her mind. The police would laugh her off. The truth was too dangerous to share. As night fell, Mara returned to the abandoned subway entrance. The city above was alive, oblivious to the horrors below. She pushed aside the crumbling wall and descended into darkness. This time, the air was colder than before, thick with the metallic scent she had noticed yesterday. The faint glow of the walls pulsed like a heartbeat, guiding her further into the tunnels. Hours passed. Mara navigated through twisting corridors, recording everything she saw. Occasionally, she heard the soft humming of the aliens, distant yet powerful, vibrating through the tunnels. Then, she stumbled across signs of previous explorers, empty backpacks, torn clothes, notes scrawled in panic. Some had written warnings, others had simply scratched their names into the walls. All were long gone. Finally, she came to a massive chamber, larger than any she had seen before. The ceiling stretched high above, disappearing into darkness. In the center, dozens of glowing vessels floated, each containing a human figure suspended in a translucent fluid. Their eyes were closed, but Mara could feel their presence, as if their minds were awake and trapped somewhere between life and death. A movement caught her eye. From the shadows, a pair of aliens emerged. They were taller than the ones she had seen before, their bodies glistening with strange fluid. Their limbs moved with fluid grace, their heads tilting in unison as if communicating silently. Mara's fear was immediate, but so was her determination. She raised her camera and snapped pictures. The aliens stopped. For a moment, it seemed they were considering her. Then, they did something unexpected. They moved aside, allowing her closer to the vessels. Mara approached cautiously, her flashlight illuminating the human forms. She realized that some of the humans were changing. Their skin shimmered, veins glowing faintly. Others appeared unharmed, still in deep stasis. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through her mind. It was not spoken aloud, yet she understood it perfectly. Do not fear. We mean no harm, yet. You are curious, like the others. Mara staggered back. The voice was alien, cold and precise, yet strangely calm. Mara whispered, What are you? We are beneath your city, the voice continued. We have watched for centuries. Humanity is evolving, and we are helping. Some will resist. Some will become what we envision. You are at a crossroads. Your choices will shape the surface world, but also the world below. The words sent a chill down her spine. She had stumbled into something far larger than she had imagined. This was not a simple alien invasion, it was a slow, deliberate transformation of humanity itself. As she backed away, the floor beneath her trembled again. A section of the wall split open, revealing a hidden corridor, glowing brighter than the rest. Mara felt a pull, an urge to follow it. She hesitated, but curiosity won. She stepped inside. The air was thick, warm, almost alive. The walls pulsed with light, showing images, visions of cities she did not recognize, alien worlds, humans walking in strange harmony with beings like these. Then, she saw it, a figure, a human unlike any she had seen. Its skin shimmered like silver, its eyes glowing the same eerie light as the aliens. It turned toward her, and Mara recognized something familiar in its face, one of the missing people she had been investigating weeks ago. They were changed. What are you? Mara asked, voice trembling. The figure smiled, but it was not a human smile. We are the bridge, it said. The surface fears us because it cannot see beyond itself. But below, we are preparing the future. You can choose to stay human, or to see the truth. Mara's mind raced. The implications were staggering. People were being transformed beneath the city, reshaped by these beings. And somehow, she had the chance to see it all firsthand. But at what cost? She could leave now, warn the world, and live in ignorance of what was happening beneath their feet. Or she could go deeper, risking herself to uncover the truth that no one above wanted to know. Her choice was made for her. The floor shuddered violently, throwing her to the ground. The chamber lit up completely, revealing hundreds of aliens moving silently in the shadows. The bridge figure gestured to her. Follow. Learn. Or stay in the dark and remain ignorant. Mara rose, trembling but resolute. She stepped forward, toward the glowing corridor, toward the unknown. Whatever lay beneath the city, she knew this was just the beginning. The corridor led Mara deeper into the alien domain. The walls pulsated with strange colors, greens, blues, and purples that seemed almost alive. The air was thick, and every breath made her head spin. She could feel the presence of countless beings around her, though most remained unseen. Each step she took echoed like a heartbeat, syncing with the strange vibrations beneath her feet. At the end of the corridor, she entered a massive cavern. The ceiling stretched impossibly high, dotted with glowing veins of light that crisscrossed like a giant web. In the center of the cavern floated a cluster of enormous, translucent vessels. Inside were humans, suspended in fluid, some calm, some struggling, all slowly changing. Their skin glimmered, and faint light moved beneath their flesh, like something alive was growing inside them. Mara's heart raced as she realized the sheer scale of the operation. There were hundreds of vessels, perhaps even thousands, stretching deep into darkness. She had stumbled into what was effectively a hidden laboratory, but one that had been operating beneath the city for decades, maybe centuries. A voice echoed in her mind again. Curiosity is dangerous, human. Mara spun around. The bridge figure she had met earlier floated nearby. Its glowing eyes studied her intently. You see our work. You see what humanity can become. You are not afraid. I don't know, Mara admitted. It's horrifying. The figure's gaze softened, almost imperceptibly. Horrifying to those who fear change. To those who understand, it is the next step. Humanity is at a crossroads. Above, your world continues blindly. Below, we shape the future. Some are willing. Some are not. You may choose to leave now, and never know the full truth. Or you may witness the evolution. Mara glanced at the humans in the vessels. Some had begun moving, their limbs stretching unnaturally, their heads turning at impossible angles. Their expressions were blank, but their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the same light as the aliens. A shiver ran down her spine. She had never imagined life could be altered in this way. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. From the shadows, smaller aliens emerged, moving quickly and silently. They swarmed toward the vessels, adjusting them, monitoring their transformation. Mara realized that these beings were organized, intelligent, and patient. They were not attacking humans, they were remaking them. The bridge figure floated closer to Mara. Do you see now? We are not here to destroy. We are here to guide. Humans resist because they fear what they do not understand. But evolution does not wait for consent. Mara's mind raced. She wanted to run, to escape and tell the world, but she felt a pull, a fascination she couldn't resist. She took a tentative step closer to one of the vessels. A human inside opened their eyes. Mara gasped, their eyes glowed intensely, and they reached toward the glass as if sensing her presence. Do you understand? The bridge figure asked. They will change. They will become more than human. And one day, your world will have no choice but to follow. A sudden alarm sounded, a low, vibrating hum that shook the cavern. The smaller aliens moved faster, their bodies writhing like liquid. The vessel's glow intensified. Mara stumbled backward, bumping into the wall, and realized with horror that she was standing on a hidden platform. It began to rise, slowly at first, then faster, carrying her above the cavern. From her vantage point, she saw the full scope of the subterranean city. The alien structures stretched for miles, glowing tunnels connecting chambers filled with humans in various stages of transformation. The city above seemed peaceful, unaware, while the world below pulsed with a strange life, almost like a living organism. Mara's fear grew, but so did her determination. She had seen enough to know that humanity was in danger, but she also understood that the aliens were not mindless invaders. They were patient, calculating, and their goal was clear: reshape humanity from below until the surface could no longer ignore it. The bridge figure floated beside her once more. You may leave now. You may return to your world, but you will never be the same. Or you may continue. Learn what few have ever learned. Witness the evolution firsthand. Mara's heart pounded. She knew her next decision could change everything, not just for her, but for everyone living above. And deep down, she knew she could not turn away. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, toward the alien city and the unknown future that awaited her. The lights pulsed around her, the air vibrated with life, and she realized that her journey beneath the city had only just begun. The rising platform carried Mara over the vast underground city, giving her a view she could never have imagined. The alien structures pulsed like veins, glowing with eerie colors, and humans in various stages of transformation floated in countless vessels below. The air smelled of ozone and something sweet, almost alive. She realized the aliens' world was not just a laboratory, it was a living ecosystem, designed to nurture, observe, and alter life. When the platform slowed, Mara stepped off into another chamber, larger than any she had seen. Here, humans were no longer passive. Some had emerged from their vessels, their bodies changed, elongated limbs, translucent skin, faint glowing veins, and eyes that shimmered like the aliens. They moved with silent grace, communicating with subtle gestures and pulses of light. It was both beautiful and terrifying. One of them approached Mara. The figure's voice echoed in her mind again, calm and precise. Do not be afraid. We are the first of what humanity can become. We are aware, but not entirely human anymore. We have seen the surface world, and we remember it. But we belong here now, beneath the city. Mara took a hesitant step back. And what about the others? The ones still in the vessels. They are growing, the figure replied. Some resist. Some accept. The process is neither quick nor cruel. It is deliberate. We learn, we adapt, and one day, your surface world will see what we have become. Then humanity must choose, evolve, or remain blind and perish. Fear and fascination warred inside Mara. She wanted to run, to escape and tell the world, but her journalistic instinct held her in place. She needed to understand. She moved closer to a row of vessels, peering into the glowing fluid. Inside, humans shifted subtly, their forms changing almost imperceptibly. One opened its eyes, and Mara felt a connection she could not explain, as if their minds were touching hers. The bridge figure appeared again, floating above the vessels. They are not prisoners. They are participants. Each transformation is a test, a choice. Some will accept, some will not, and some will never survive. Suddenly, a violent tremor shook the chamber. The vessels swayed, the glowing veins in the walls pulsed rapidly, and a low hum filled the air. Mara stumbled, struggling to stay upright. Smaller aliens rushed to stabilize the vessels, their movements swift and coordinated. The humans inside stirred, some thrashing violently, others glowing brighter as their bodies adjusted to the sudden disturbance. One of the newly transformed humans approached Mara. Its eyes glowed brightly, and it reached out, touching her arm. In an instant, Mara felt memories and emotions that were not hers. Fear, hope, confusion, and something far older. An awareness of life beyond the planet, of beings that had been observing humanity for centuries. She staggered back, overwhelmed. The figure spoke in her mind again. You feel our purpose now. We do not destroy. We guide. Humanity has always feared the unknown, but beneath your city, evolution continues. Every life here is a step toward what your species may become. Mara realized the truth. These aliens were not invaders in the traditional sense. They were gardeners, shaping life beneath the city, preparing humanity for a future that no one above could imagine. But the cost was staggering. Countless humans had been taken, altered, and lost their former selves. And the process would continue, quietly, unnoticed by the world above. Her curiosity overpowered her fear. Mara stepped deeper into the chamber, moving alongside the transformed humans. They moved with fluid grace, guiding her through corridors filled with glowing machinery, alien symbols, and vessels of every size. Some contained single humans, others groups, all suspended in a delicate balance between life and something else entirely. Will they survive? Mara asked the bridge figure. Some will thrive. Some will not. Survival is not the point, the figure replied. The point is evolution. Change is inevitable. Your world is blind to it, but here, beneath the city, it is happening. Every life taken, every mind touched, is part of a larger plan, one that your species cannot yet comprehend. Mara's heart ached with the weight of what she had discovered. The surface world continued above, oblivious, while below, humanity was being reshaped, one person at a time. And she was part of it now, an observer, a witness, perhaps even a participant. As the chamber's lights pulsed, Mara realized she faced a choice that could define her life forever. She could leave, return to the surface, and tell the world what she had seen. Or she could go further, deeper into the alien city, and uncover the full truth, whatever it might cost. Her decision was made before she even realized it. She stepped forward, toward the unknown, drawn by a force she could neither resist nor understand. The aliens watched silently, their glowing eyes unblinking. And as Mara moved deeper into their world, she understood that the city above was no longer hers. Beneath it, another life thrived, a life that would shape the future in ways humanity could never imagine. Mara moved deeper into the alien cavern, her senses heightened with every step. The air hummed with energy, vibrating through her bones, as if the city itself were alive. She could see more transformed humans now, walking and moving like shadows, their glowing eyes reflecting the pulsing light of the cavern. They were silent, coordinated, almost inhuman, yet their movements were deliberate and purposeful. Suddenly, the hum shifted, a sharp, discordant note that set Mara's nerves on edge. From the shadows, several of the smaller aliens darted toward a group of vessels. The humans inside writhed violently, glowing brighter, their forms stretching and twisting as if struggling against unseen restraints. Mara froze, realizing that some transformations were not smooth, some were violent and chaotic. One human, newly transformed, broke free from its vessel entirely. Its limbs were elongated, eyes burning with an unnatural intensity. It moved toward Mara, but not in a friendly way. Its movements were erratic, unpredictable, almost monstrous. She stumbled backward, tripping over a glowing cable, and the creature lunged. A sudden force pushed it aside. The bridge figure floated in front of Mara, eyes blazing. "Control yourself," it said in her mind. "Not all are ready. Some cannot accept the change. We do what we must." Mara's heart raced. The creature shrieked, a sound that wasn't quite human, and darted into the shadows, where smaller aliens chased it down, restraining it with glowing tendrils. The display was terrifying, and Mara realized that beneath the city, life was a delicate balance. Some humans thrived, some were broken, and some would never survive the transformation. The bridge figure gestured toward a deeper tunnel. "Come," it said. "You have seen only a fragment. The heart of our city lies ahead, where the process is controlled, deliberate, precise. There, you will understand our purpose fully." Mara followed, fear and fascination warring inside her. The corridor narrowed, forcing her to walk single file between the glowing walls. Symbols she could not decipher flickered along the surfaces, and the air seemed thick with thought, as if the aliens were aware of her every intention. They arrived at a massive chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness. In the center was a colossal structure, pulsating with light and energy. Vessels surrounded it in concentric circles, each human at a different stage of transformation. Some were nearly fully evolved, glowing faintly, walking among the aliens with fluid movements. Others were in chaos, writhing, screaming silently in the suspended fluid. Mara's mind reeled. "What is this place?" she whispered. "The core," the bridge figure said. "Here, we guide evolution. Every human here is part of the larger plan. The core directs their growth, their change. It is not cruelty, it is precision. And soon, the surface world will feel its effects." Suddenly, a sharp alarm echoed through the chamber. The core pulsed violently, sending waves of energy that made Mara stumble. The humans in the vessels flared with light, some thrashing violently, some moving with accelerated grace. The bridge figure moved beside her, calm in the chaos. "Some transformations fail," it explained. "It is necessary. Evolution is not perfect. You must understand this, human. Not all survive, but those who do, will shape the future." Mara swallowed hard. The core's power was overwhelming. She could feel it pulling at her mind, probing her thoughts, testing her resolve. She realized with a shock that she was not just an observer anymore, she was part of the experiment. Her curiosity, her fear, even her resistance were all being measured. Then she felt it, a tug, a pull from deep within herself. The core seemed to reach into her, offering a choice: submit and understand, or resist and remain human. Mara's instincts screamed at her to run, to flee the chamber and escape to the surface, but something else held her in place, an irresistible need to know, to witness the truth fully. She took a tentative step forward, toward the glowing structure. The bridge figure watched silently. "You have chosen," it said. "Now, see what few humans ever see." As Mara approached the core, her mind was flooded with visions. Cities above, humans walking unaware. the aliens observing for centuries, transformations beginning, spreading like a silent tide, and a future where humanity was no longer just human, but something more, something different. Mara gasped, realizing that beneath the city, an entire civilization was being reshaped, one human at a time. And the choice before her was not just about herself, it was about whether she would become a part of this new world, or return to the ignorance above. The core pulsed again, brighter this time, almost alive. Mara felt herself drawn closer, every nerve in her body alert. The journey beneath the city had taken her far from the world she knew, and there was no turning back. Mara's feet barely touched the glowing floor as she approached the core. Its light was almost blinding, pulsing with a rhythm that seemed to sync with her heartbeat. She could feel it in her bones, vibrating, probing, testing. Every thought, every fear, every memory she had ever had surged into focus. The core was alive, not just a machine, not just an alien structure, but a consciousness that connected everything beneath the city. The bridge figure hovered beside her, its glowing eyes steady. Few humans come this far. Fewer still understand. The core is the mind of our city. It sees, it feels, it decides. And now, it has noticed you. Mara swallowed hard, her voice trembling. Notice me? What does it want? Understanding. Awareness. Choice, the figure said. The core offers knowledge, and with it, a path. But the path is not without danger. Some humans cannot withstand it. Their minds fracture. Their bodies change in ways they cannot control. As if on cue, a section of vessels shuddered violently. The humans inside screamed silently, their forms contorting, glowing brighter and brighter. Some of them stretched, their limbs elongating unnaturally, their voices breaking into unrecognizable tones. Mara staggered back, nearly falling as the display overwhelmed her senses. She realized that the core did not just observe transformations, it accelerated them, pushed them to extremes, testing the limits of life itself. A hand touched her arm. She turned to see one of the newly transformed humans from earlier. Its skin shimmered like liquid silver, and its eyes glowed intensely. "Do not fear," it whispered in her mind. "The core shows only the truth. We are not monsters. We are the next step." Mara's head spun. Next step. What does that mean? For the surface? For the world? The bridge figure answered, its voice calm, echoing in her mind. The surface is unprepared. Humanity above cannot yet see the change coming. But below, evolution is guided. Every mind we touch, every body we shape, brings the world closer to what it must become. One day, your cities will know. One day, the sky will reflect what lies beneath. Suddenly, a tremor shook the chamber. A wave of energy radiated from the core, knocking Mara off her feet. The glowing vessels shivered violently, some exploding in bursts of light, others remaining intact but altered beyond recognition. Smaller aliens darted between them, stabilizing what they could, silencing those who resisted. Mara realized the terrifying truth: the core was not gentle. It demanded adaptation. Those who resisted were destroyed, or transformed into something unrecognizable. It was evolution without mercy, without consent, yet guided with precision. The bridge figure floated closer, its glow intensifying. You feel it too, don't you? The pull, the understanding. The core calls to you, human. It offers a choice: remain as you are, and carry your ignorance above, or embrace the truth, and become part of what lies beneath. Mara's vision blurred as the core's energy touched her mind. She saw the city above, alive and unaware, humans walking blindly, unaware of the world below, children growing up above while others changed beneath. She felt the presence of thousands of transformed humans, their minds connected to the core, sharing knowledge, memory, and understanding in a vast network of consciousness. Her fear battled with fascination. She wanted to run, but every fiber of her being was drawn forward. She reached toward the core, and the moment her fingers brushed the glowing surface, a wave of images overwhelmed her. Memories not her own, alien cities in distant worlds, humans evolving in unimaginable ways, and a vision of a future where humanity itself had changed beyond recognition. And then, she saw herself. Not as she was, but as she could become, transformed, glowing faintly, part of the subterranean city's consciousness. Her mind was alive with the knowledge of the core, her senses expanded, her understanding of life, evolution, and the universe completely altered. The bridge figure whispered, almost gently, in her mind, "You are ready, Mara. You may return to the surface, but you will see the world differently. Or you may join us, and the surface will not matter. You must choose." Mara's heart pounded. The chamber seemed to shrink around her, the glowing vessels and pulsing veins of light pressing closer. She realized there was no turning back. Whatever choice she made would change her forever, and perhaps, through her, the world above. With trembling hands, she reached toward the core, feeling its energy surge through her. And in that moment, she understood. The city above was never hers. Beneath it, life had moved forward, silent and patient, shaping a future humanity could not yet comprehend. Mara's hand hovered over the glowing surface of the core. Its energy pulsed like a heartbeat, steady and commanding, and she could feel it reaching into her mind, touching every memory, every fear, every thought she had ever known. The visions of the city above, of the humans below, of the strange alien worlds, everything converged into a single, overwhelming clarity. "You have seen enough," the bridge figure said softly in her mind. "Now you must choose. Return to your world, carrying this knowledge and the burden it brings. Or embrace the truth, and step into the future we have prepared." Mara's heart pounded. She thought of the humans in the vessels, some struggling, some glowing with serene awareness. She thought of the surface city, oblivious and blind, walking unknowingly above the transformation happening beneath their feet. And she thought of herself, her curiosity, her courage, and the pull she could not resist. She took a deep breath and slowly pressed her fingers against the core. A wave of energy surged through her, wrapping her in warmth, light, and knowledge beyond comprehension. She felt herself changing, not physically yet, but mentally, spiritually, as if her mind had expanded into the network of the core itself. She understood the aliens' purpose. They were not invaders, not conquerors. They were guides, shaping humanity into a species capable of surviving what the surface could not. The bridge figure floated beside her, its glow brighter than ever. "You have chosen wisely," it said. "Your world is not ready, but one day it will be. Until then, we watch, we guide, we prepare. You are now part of what lies beneath, yet you will carry the truth above. And perhaps, when the time comes, you will help us bridge the two worlds." Mara felt a strange calm wash over her. She could sense the transformed humans moving around the chamber, each connected to the core, each part of a silent, living network. Their consciousness was no longer separate. It was collective, intelligent, aware. And now, she was part of it. But just as the calm settled, a sudden tremor shook the cavern. The smaller aliens darted between the vessels, stabilizing those who struggled. Some humans were panicked, resisting the core's influence. Mara realized that transformation was not easy. Evolution required choice, and some resisted until they could resist no longer. A flash of understanding struck her. The surface world would not notice these changes immediately. The humans above continued their ordinary lives, unaware of the transformation happening beneath them. But eventually, the changes would reach the surface. Humanity itself would evolve, whether willingly or not. Mara stepped back, taking a moment to breathe. She looked up at the core, its light pulsing like a living heartbeat. "I understand," she whispered, feeling her thoughts sinking with the network around her. "I understand what you are doing, and why." The bridge figure inclined its head. "Now you will see the future, Mara. Not just one possible future, but all the paths humanity may take. And through your choice, some of them will become reality." A vision unfolded before her. Humans walking side by side with the transformed beings beneath the city, cities glowing with strange light, people of both worlds communicating through thought, understanding, and shared consciousness. She saw the potential for harmony, for knowledge, for a species that had learned to survive and adapt in ways the surface could never imagine. And yet, she also saw the cost: those who resisted change, those who clung to fear, left behind, forgotten, or consumed by the process. The core did not cheat evolution. It enforced it, guided it, and corrected it when necessary. It was relentless, patient, and inevitable. Mara turned her thoughts outward, toward the surface city. She felt the energy of the core stretching upward, threading beneath streets, through walls, beneath homes. The city above remained oblivious, but she understood now that beneath their feet, a silent revolution was already underway. A final pulse of light surged through her, and Mara knew her choice had been made. She would remain part of the world beneath the city, a witness and a participant in the evolution of humanity. But she also carried knowledge of the surface world, a memory of what was and what could be. She had seen both sides, and her mind bridged the divide. The bridge figure floated closer, its voice gentle. Remember this, Mara, the surface will awaken when it is ready. Until then, we watch. And you will watch with us. Mara nodded, feeling the network of consciousness surround her. The core pulsed with life, and beneath the city, humanity moved forward, transformed, evolving, silent, unstoppable. Above, the lights of the city continued to glow, unaware, untouched, for now. And Mara knew one truth that would never leave her: the world beneath the city was no longer human alone. Something new had awakened, something patient, intelligent, and eternal. And one day, the surface would discover it, but by then, it would be too late to resist. The tunnels pulsed with life. The vessels shimmered. The core's heartbeat continued. And beneath the city, the evolution of humanity went on.